Today, we're going to be discussing
The Mind of a Serial Killer.
Oh, God.
Hey, Andrew, what's in the mind of a serial killer?
Oh. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. I don't know, man. What is in the mind of a serial killer? I think they are just, I think something happens to people and they just go dark. And then certain things they're just able or more enthusiastic to do than others.
Just go see, my bad. Hey, I haven't thought about that. A killer. Which one's darker? The one that kills and leaves, or the ones that kills and watches them die?
Oh, well, obviously, man. You know, that's the thing. You got fake killers, people that glorify the killing, like, that happens by real killers, and then imitate it, like, on the streets with drive-bys or, you know what I mean? Like, gunfights outside the club and shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Those people tend to shoot and run, hide and shoot, you know what I mean? Drive-by shootings and shit like that, where you're not witnessing it, but you're just getting the clout. Mm-hmm. You're getting the clout. I mean, number one, a gun is the most kind of pussy way to kill a person if you're mad at them and you want them dead. And if they don't have a gun is definitely pussy.
Yeah, that's why, like, for professionals, the knife is the last thing you learn.
So, a person who stays and watches the death, that's a person who's invested in the crime. Now, it may be that they're just so diabolical they want to make sure the person's dead. Yeah. It could be that they are so evil that they feed off of that changing of energy, the face that they make and all that.
What do you think they would feel?
That thing that gods feel. I don't know what it is, what it's called, but it's that thing that gods feel. That thing that makes you feel like a god. To quote Norm Macdonald, by the way.
I have control over a life.
Right.
Or I ended a life.
I'm gonna do a quick interpretation of a skit. All right. Now, it's like you think about a person who gets on the news because they're missing, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't know them at all.
Right.
And at first you're like, kind of thankful that they're not even your friend. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, thank God that's nobody I know. But then as you see the next day, they're like still missing. You know, week later, it's like they're missing. Mm. But don't worry, we've got people out combing the woods. And it's like, oh, no. When you hear combing the woods, it's like, that's never a good thing. It's not like they're going to find the person in the woods, like, with a compass and a map, like, oh, I was just out in the woods and you found me. You know what I mean? Like, no. You know,
that means the presumption is dead.
Right. And if they do find you in the woods, it's only one place they ever find you, a shallow grave. Mm-hmm. You know, which is kind of brings us to this topic, the serial killer thing. Like, why do they always dig a shallow grave? You think of a serial killer as somebody who is very meticulous, stalks their victims. You know what I mean? Learns their ways.
They leave a sloppy breadcrumb of clues and shit.
Or
you could almost argue that's intentional.
Well, sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. But what about the ones who are trying to get away with it? They really plan ahead, you know what I mean? And they're like fucking you know, but then at the end, after everything, they just fucking dig a tiny hole and throw the body in. Like, nobody's going to find it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous, you know? Yeah. So you're thinking like a serial killer now. You're thinking, like, I would never slaughter a lady. This is Norm right here, all the way. I would never murder and slaughter a lady. But if I did, I think the grave would be the first thing I planned out. I think he was like, because we never know if we're going to snap. You know, I could tell you I'll never rape and murder a lady or kill a lady, but, you know, you never know if you snap, you know, the future. I'm not a mind reader. You could just snap one day. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah, it's true.
You know, you never know. So that being said, you should probably start digging the grave now. And you want it to be about 100 feet deep. You know what I mean? Like a deep, deep, not shallow grave. You know what I mean? And then and then once you lure the lady into your van with cheese sandwiches, which, by the way, you don't actually have to have cheese sandwiches in the van. You just have to get her in the van.
Just the allure of cheese
Right. And once you get her in there, then you do whatever it is that makes you feel like a god. And then you take her back to your deep, deep grave, and you throw her in there, right? And you fill it in for nobody to ever know again. He even went into more detail, and he was like, so you take her back to the shack that you made in the woods about 3 months ago, and you do that thing that makes you feel like a god. I mean, it's so funny the way he puts it, but that, to me, really it made sense. Like, it's probably how they feel about it, you know? And from what I understand, killers and deviants, whenever they do something deviant or sexual, like a rape or something, they think about it for the rest of their lives. They can lay in bed, and it's like a porno for them for the rest of their lives. You see what I'm saying? Like,
So they enjoy it.
Like, yeah, nobody else has that porno but them.
Yeah.
You know, and it ends in, like, death and killing, and it's nobody else. But they have it in their head because they saw it. You know? So that's the thing I think about serial killers is they can commit a crime, and while it's fresh on their memory, not commit a crime. Because they have it for like a while. And then eventually it starts to get boring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like having the same old porno movie you watch. Eventually you're like, I'll change it up.
Need a new tape.
Exactly. So they go do something else crazy
That's twisted.
that they can then remember for like however long.
That's twisted. That's like America's not funniest home videos.
Right. Mental video. I mean, some of them do make videos and keep them, you know?
Yeah.
Which leads me to, what about the police, the special victims units and all that shit, who actually have those tapes and evidence? You don't think some of them sick-ass police pull them out and have watch parties and shit like that?
Oh, man. God damn.
You don't think that shit
I
happens?
hope not. Shit.
Man, hey,
God damn.
if you can think it, probably. You know what I mean?
God
Like,
damn, man.
that's the way I see it, man.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not,
Fuck,
too.
Because, I can't imagine what would be on some of those tapes. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Shit.
Exactly. Like, really fucking twisted shit. That when you watch it with another group of guys, y'all have to be in firm understanding that we are a dark cult here.
Yeah, a bunch of niggas in badges with erections.
We are a dark fucking coven here. We're a coven of witches.
I was just like, oh! You know what I'm saying? That's how the motherfuckers be with this shit when that shit be going down. You saw that shit, Jeffrey? Yeah!
Right? Like, damn, man, look at how intensely he's making love to that pig. Oh! Right? God. Look how the goat's just watching them. Oh! The goat's just watching like, bad. That's funny.
Like one random motherfucker, is it just me? Or does anybody else want to fuck that goat?
No, but on to the next topic. Since you brought up serial killers, I'll bring up serial killer fangirls.
Okay.
Fangirls and boys. Like those twisted people who love serial killers and shit
it's
like that.
It's like groupies for serial killers, essentially.
Yes,
That's crazy.
exactly.
That's a crazy thing, man.
A lot of serial killers got a way more pussy offers.
That's a sick-ass allure.
It is. But I actually know a girl, I'm not going to name her name, who probably is like that. You know, they sit around with their friends and they're like, do you like serial killers? Oh my god, I can't believe you like serial killers too. Like, who's your favorite serial killer? Oh my god, I like Chikatilo.
This is like normal coffee conversation in the morning at Starbucks.
Right.
Fuck.
I know about the serial killers because I have a morbid fascination too. But I want to know, like, I just want to kind of get into it. Like, how does it work?
Oh, I couldn't tell you, bro.
Like, true crime, like, lovers and shit like that.
Bro, Fatal Attraction type shit. You know what I mean? Maybe some of these bitches ended up dead. You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Well, yeah, murders and crimes of passion are one thing.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I mean, I'm just saying for some of these serial killers and shit, maybe somewhere along the line and shit, one of those, early stage groupies got a little too close to the fire and got burned. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's possible.
well, I mean, I guess that's kind of the way it is because to be a serial killer, you have to have a lot of charm. So you have to be able to like allure them, and they think that you're some kind of awesome being.
I
And they get close to
got you and shit, but like, but one of the things about females, bro, is like, like if you allow them to be close, they make you get comfortable, right? And sometimes you offer up shit that you probably shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, bitch, you know too much. Gotta go. You know too much. Gotta go. It's possible.
I mean,
Let me ask you a question.
All
Like
right.
from the mind of a serial killer.
no, make it a statement. No, go ahead. Ask. From the mind of a serial killer,
From the
by
mind
the
of a
way.
serial killer.
And I admit to nothing.
Do you think the first kill, they felt fear first
Oh,
and
yeah.
then enjoyment after?
Yeah. To paraphrase the movie True Romance, the first one, that's the hardest. I don't care what you are, sicko, maniac, hitman, noob, whatever it is. First kill, that's the tough one. Second kill, it's tough, but it's easier.
Yeah, it's like you get used to it. It's like,
And then he was like, now I just do it to watch their face change.
that's a dark soul right there, bro.
Right.
Nigga is gone.
By the way, True Romance with Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette, man. Bad movie. Dude, let me just run down a little bit, okay? Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
He's in it, and he plays a fucking thug gangster. Fucking Brad Pitt. Stoner. Christopher Walken's.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Dennis Hopper.
OG.
Dennis Hopper. Two OGs.
OGs, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some OGs. Dude from fucking The Sopranos. Tony Soprano. What's his
Okay.
name?
I don't know, but yeah, go ahead.
And the list goes on, by the way, of just actors in this movie.
That motherfucker, they had that joint loaded like Casino, huh?
Hell yeah, dude.
That's
It's,
what's up.
in my opinion, one of the best movies out there.
What's the name of it?
True Romance.
True Romance. Go check that shit out.
Hell yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna go check it out.
You check it out.
You know what I'm saying? I suggest you do the same.
Anyway.
But yeah, bro, it's like, man,
So yeah, I just want back to the whole like people who
the girls and shit.
yeah.
Like, see, I mean, obviously I'm not a girl, so I'm not gonna put myself in the mindset and shit. But like, I think like some of the chicks that go in for the shit, like, sure, you know what I mean, being able to, like you were talking about, I had that conversation with bitches and shit. You know what I'm saying? Is one thing, but it's like I think personally with some of these bras and shit, it's like they get off on the feeling that they can be dominated while they're being sexually dominated and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like okay,
Like bitches are like, choke me hard.
I got
You know what
you
I'm
now.
saying? Like,
So the way
type of shit like that.
like the way it's healthy for a man to go out and face the danger of like hunting a buffalo, which could kill him, right? It could stomp him out. There's that danger
Yeah.
of a man doing the man things,
yeah, I got
but
you.
a woman,
I'm with you.
she doesn't
It's
necessarily.
like it's like matter of fact, it's like this.
That's her version
It's
of danger.
It's
like
like
bad guys.
It's like going into it's like stepping out from town into the wilderness where anything goes.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's their version of
Yeah.
danger is bad guys.
Yeah, like I'm living on the edge. Ooh.
Right. This guy's dangerous. He could hurt me, but he doesn't. I'm like safe. I'm his safe little parakeet or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm his cat. But unfortunately, when it comes to people who disregard human life, it doesn't mean they disregard animal life. They could have a cat they love. They could have a bird they love, a snake, whatever the case may be. Buffalo Bill had moths and a dog. He loved them.
Moths.
Yeah, he had the death's head moth he
Yeah.
was growing, and that dog he kept petting. But the thing is, man,
Wait, time out. For those that don't know, a moth would be a nocturnal butterfly. But
yes,
some motherfuckers don't know that shit.
yes. Now you know.
The more you know. All right, go ahead.
So, people have a tendency to like the bad guy. Anyway, look at Narcos. It's like a
Yeah.
top-rated show, and it's about the bad guy, a guy who murdered families in front of their children, a guy who did horrible things, We love him. There's a resort where he used to live where one of his henchmen who killed, like, I think it was 71 people. I don't know if that's the number. Don't quote me on that.
And this is a television show, right?
Narcos, yeah.
Yeah. Here's a
It's
funny.
a Netflix
Okay.
show. It's not television. It's Netflix.
Okay. Here's a funny thing, though. Think about some of the shows that were around when we were, you know, coming from our 10s into our 20s.
The A-Team.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
MacGyver.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? We had some of them Jones too, but some of these Jones are just like ridiculous.
Airwolf.
Like, you know, 'cause, like, you know, those guys were either the full-fledged hero or like the anti-hero but not a villain, you know what I'm saying? Kind of fringe. And like the 18 was like renegades and shit, but you knew they was fighting for good and shit, but like
All right, 7.
the movie?
Yeah.
That was a crazy ass movie.
That was kind of back in my youth. 7.
That was a crazy ass motherfucking movie. Bro.
And that was about a serial killer who was motivated by religious. He had religious motivations, motivated by religious beliefs, and a need for attention. I guess that was it. That's on the top list. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Nothing tops
You're
Terminator, and except True Romance.
And
bombs with Terminator.
7 was
for me.
Brad Pitt and it was another guy.
Morgan Freeman.
Okay. Good pairing.
Yeah, and they fucking rocked that shit.
Yes, they did.
I remember my favorite line from that is he was like, don't act like you planned all this. We caught you, remember? We had you dead to rights.
Mm.
And you ran. And he was like, we had you dead to rights. And he was like, yes, and I seem to remember breaking your face. That was Kevin Spacey. And boy, Kevin Spacey is an actor. I mean, say what you will about his personal proclivities towards boys and men or whatever. Mm. That motherfucker is a dark-seated soul.
Yeah.
And that's what it really takes to pull off those roles. Somebody who's really kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons I've always said, man, there's certain actors that I watch that I think, man,
when they act, they're really being who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they have a dungeon under their house or something. Like, I swear, some actors, I feel like, have, like, dungeons. And then,
That's crazy.
What happens? R. Kelly comes out to have a sex dungeon and kind of blows the lid that these guys do have fucking dungeons.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? These guys do have sex dungeons, so that's like...
Good point.
Where'd he get the idea? He just came up with it on his own? Maybe.
Highly doubt it.
He probably saw...
He heard from somebody else.
Yeah, other people have their own sex dungeons, and it's like, who can... You got to get a contractor who's willing to build your sex dungeon and not report it, like, you know what I mean? And all that shit, like, not zone for it or anything, just quietly dig under my house, I need a dungeon. A lot of contractors are like, there's paperwork and shit, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it depends on who you know.
Yep, and that's what it boils down to. Serial killers, famous serial killers. They say Jack the Ripper got away with it because his father was a high-class official.
Mm.
And he was a failed, they say he was a failed student of biology.
Mm.
So he would, like, take women off the streets and just cut them apart and look at the... He couldn't become a doctor, so he just did that.
Wow.
He would just cut them apart and rearrange their organs and shit, and then, you know, cut apart their pieces. Rarely ever was there sex. And that's the thing about some of these guys. Like, I think a lot of guys, it's guys who can't express themselves sexually go nuts and have a proclivity to turn rabid.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah. And I feel like, in a way, I suffer from a slight guilt because I've had a certain amount of girlfriends in my life, and I also feel like it's important to share one girlfriend and love with her, a woman forever. Like, it's actually one of the main things that's the most important aspect of life, is having somebody who cares about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, having a person who loves you and a woman who cares about all the aspects of you.
Right.
Fame, fortune, everything can disappear.
Right.
If you don't have that in the end,
Mm-hmm.
you're fucked. You know, you're going to be on a fucking machine and, like, the emperor's going to be like, let's use you for the dark side, you know, or something. You're going to be like, you know, no matter how rich you are. So, when you don't get that, you lose it. Now, I've been on, but I'm personally,
Use it or lose it.
yeah, but I'm personally at the point where I feel like, I don't know, I feel fulfilled with my life experiences. I don't want more. I'm not like extra searching for more,
you're not,
dick sucks.
Yeah, you're not like trying to hit a clicker every time and shit. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that
Like,
should be OD, man.
like, let me get a bunch of strippers and like lay back with my legs spread and like
Right,
get my
just-
joint licked. No, I don't give a fuck, honestly. And I think people want that porno thing that they see. You know what I mean? They want that and they see it and they're like, oh man, this is not that. You know what I mean? Like, this is just fucking crumbly. You know what I mean? It hurts. You know what I mean? Sure.
Crumbly?
It hurts.
Crumbly?
Yeah, just skin and just crust just falling off these withered hands, like.
Oh, damn, cuz. Oh, nigga, I thought you was talking about the pussy, nigga.
Oh no, I was talking about my rock.
Oh, nah.
My rock
yeah,
breakers.
Yeah, you can skip that part. Fast forward.
I mean, they just are lacking something deep inside, and they're looking for it in another way. Either that, or there was something that they had. Like when this is, I think, what it is when you're a little kid, you have trust and love and hope, and some people can completely rip that away from you.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you to figure out how to sew that wound together and what to put there. You know what I mean? And some people sew it up, some people try to put something there and fill it. They leave the wound, and they keep trying to fill it with something that's not that. You know what I mean? So a person can get stuck in a pattern of that. People are habitual. People are habitual as fuck. You can get stuck in any pattern.
That's true.
You can get stuck on your phone.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you see me going like, today I want to go here. Today I want to fucking go over there. Oh, you want to do something different? Cool, let's go over here. You know what I mean? Because I don't want a pattern stuck on me. I want to be able to just, like, I want to go there. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. Especially in a place like Amsterdam where it's legal to smoke a joint there. You know what I mean? Like, not like some place where it's super beautiful, but if you pull out a joint, you might get beheaded by the government or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Which is another thing about killers. All right, what do you think about a government? What do you think about a world leader who is responsible for thousands of deaths? Definitely, all of our world leaders are responsible for thousands of deaths.
Man, see, when you go there, bro, see, that's the topic right there. That
do you think it's illegal serial killing?
I don't want to label it that specifically, but I would definitely say it's illegal killing because motherfuckers sign off on the shit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's name is on I go green light. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somewhere in there, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers make a decision to go. You know what I'm saying? And the problem that I have with that shit, bro, is, you know what I'm saying, like, if it's a conflict and people are shooting back and forth, my nigga, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, if innocent people being killed by this bullshit, bro, you know what I'm saying, you playing the game wrong. And like I said, people sign off on this shit, you know, so because they signed off on it, bro, they know people are going to die, so they know that those are souls that are lost.
Yeah, but
here's but wait. Like, they know that shit, right? But see, the problem is that these motherfuckers just write that shit off as collateral damage like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Which is even more sick and even more deviant than just the act or the art of killing in itself.
Right. So, but also, if there's also a double sword. There's a double side to every fucking governmental killing. Okay.
Yeah.
There's the action that it happened, then there's the actions and repercussions against the officer, and then there's the mark they get on their gun, a notch on their barrel they get to put. Okay. Right. Now you can say this is collateral damage, but up in the ranks, if you got 4 world leaders smoking cigars and drinking brandies together, they're like fucking, dude, well, I mean, this nigga got fucking 100,000 kills under his belt, you know what I mean? it gives him more power and more strength than the guy who literally just got in and has never mass murdered any wedding funerals.
Yeah.
Oh, Obama, by the way,
Mm.
bombing a fucking wedding. You know what I mean? Anyway, that besides the point. Okay, what do you think, man? Do you think that Obama relishes that he bombed that wedding in some way, shape, or form, or do you think that he's on the up and up and was like, "That's an accident, and I really hate myself for it"?
I mean, it's a coin flip either way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a better question for him than me. But like, I'm not 100% privy to what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, the instance of it and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But just on the surface level,
Right.
surface level.
Surface level. It was a misfire. It was a misstrike. Wrong place.
Okay.
Wrong guy or some bullshit.
Somebody gotta be held accountable for that shit, man. Straight up. Somebody gotta be held accountable for that shit.
Well, I mean, if you kill a bunch of people anywhere, you're without that situation, like the Boston bombers killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
The sentence is death. If you're a terrorist and you blow up another place in another country, the sentence is death. I mean, if you get caught there,
Right.
unless you're in your home turf, don't go there because.
Have you like speaking about the Boston bombing and shit?
Yeah.
Have you seen some of the footage that debunks and shit that it was a actual bombing and it wasn't some planned shit?
That it was a black flag or they call it black flag event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
With crisis actors and all that shit.
exactly. And some of the crisis actors have showed up in multiple crises,
Yeah.
and all of them get camera time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they all follow the. Here's the thing, though. It's interesting.
It's real life movie magic, is what it is.
Yeah, but it's interesting the way nobody quite catches on to this. The news media will have something they're covering. They'll have somebody come on as an that was there. You know what I mean? Later on, they'll have to change their stance because new shit comes out. But they never explain how that guy somehow experienced and witnessed something that didn't happen.
Hold up, say that again?
So this guy is saying, "Oh yeah, I witnessed all this shit on their news."
Yeah.
Later on down the line, a couple months later, not him at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Later down the line, the main event itself gets called out in different ways, and it's like, okay, well, we didn't know, we were misinformed about this and this, but why was that guy all the way in the back giving you an interview that matched your story in the beginning? If he saw it in person, or was it not? Did he really not see it? Did you pay this guy to say I saw it, right? Because nobody goes back and questions why were the witnesses there. If it didn't happen, why were the witnesses there? These are the things that always bother me. I saw like during the riots last year, it was the CNN headquarters got raided.
Okay.
Number one, Fox was right down the street, and that's the one you would think that the left would want to raid. Is Fox, not CNN.
This was in New York.
Was it in New York?
I'm not sure. But
I saw the footage. I didn't look at the what I. You know what? I'm gonna check that real quick. But see, CNN headquarters was a bunch of people out front. There was cops inside the lobby.
Yeah.
And the door was open. Everything was blocked off, and you could just see a crowd of people outside the door. And every once in a while, one of them would come in and do something, and the cops would chase him, or he'd run out, or the cops would get him. One guy came in, right, and the cops got him and started bringing him into the CNN building up the steps. And the CNN reporter was like, standing there, there was a camera. The reporter was like, Sir, why are you doing this? And the guy was like, man, I forget what he said. Man, I want to bring it back up. But I'm like, this is a setup. This is some setup. If you know anything about directing or cinematography, you know that you want everybody in a spot where the most important thing is in the middle. Up top, you see the supporting of that area of that side of the argument. Over here, you see the supporting of this side of the whole screen is full.
Right, the crowd.
Right, the whole screen is full, and down here it's not military cops with barricades. Like, you can't come in here. And number one, if the riot was that big, people would have been pouring into that lobby.
Yeah.
The door was wide open, but they just stood back there like the extras in Ninja Turtles, the extra foot soldiers. How they just stand there and they go, while the turtles are fighting, they're just in the background like super NPCs in the background, just fucking going, "Grah, grah," like on Street Fighter, when you see all the guys in the background that are like going like this.
Yeah.
Literally, that's how they were. And then one of them would come up and go, boing, 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 super move, and then they get him. You know what I mean? Like, and pull him in. And then they bring him up the steps, and it's like, why are you doing this? And he's like, "Arr, arr, arr." You know what I mean? It's like so fucking typical.
Yeah.
So typical of like a perfectly directed scene. And I said, man, there's no way this is real.
To build the narrative.
Right. I said, man, there's no way this is real. And people are like, it's definitely real. But I'm just saying that Fox headquarters was not far away, and that would have been who you attack because Fox supports Trump. If you're out protesting and you're saying Black Lives Matter, why go after CNN who's on your side, who's helping spread your narrative? Why go after CNN?
Good point.
You wouldn't. But CNN might ask you to so they can get some better ratings.
Is that what you think that was for?
Yes, CNN asked them to so they could get everybody's... Everybody was like, CNN headquarters live! Look what's happening over here! Everybody was in a fucking fuss about that. But now you don't even hear about it anymore.
Good point.
You know?
Yeah,
because there's too many actual good points. Like, why was the left the ones? Wouldn't it be Trump supporters trying to take down CNN if it was like a riot like that? Yeah, it would be like the right. They would be after Fox. We would be after CNN.
I guess, man. You know, at that point, that's where, you know, I get lost in the shuffle because, you know what I'm saying?
What's left and right, upside down.
Yeah,
it's the cup with the ball.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, you can keep that toy over there.
Yeah, so... Anyway, we got really off topic because the topic was killing, and it did get to world leaders and shit.
Yeah, which are still involved in the killing.
Right, and there's killing going on in our country that I think some people might... I think along with everybody, when I first saw the George Floyd thing, it's one of the first videos I've seen that made me yell at my phone.
Yeah.
At a certain point, yelling, what the fuck? Get off him! You know what I mean? You're yelling at your phone. You're not going to change anything.
Yeah.
But as I watched it, I was like, damn, that cop seems to be so cocky and arrogant that he gets off on this.
Yeah. Like it didn't even matter. Just
right. And they got a guy who was good enough. Who they got a guy to do it.
Yeah.
Who was that mentally twisted. Because there's a lot of footage of that guy and the way he was. And then there's some people who say, you know what?
2 minutes.
They were all in on it.
Yeah.
George Floyd was in on it too. Some people say that.
Yeah, some people say he wasn't really dead.
Right. That it was all just a thing. But that was the catalyst needed to start the whole Black Lives Matter.
Start some bullshit. Man.
Which, I'm not saying Black Lives Matter wasn't around before that, but we didn't really think about it until George Floyd.
But really what it did, bro, is it stirred up some bullshit, man. That's really what it did, man, because... You know, motherfuckers pulled out a big-ass motherfucking spoon and started stirring that pot real nice. You know, stirring that cauldron. You know what I'm saying? We're not making soup over this bitch.
Right, but my point of it, not politics, was that somebody got killed and somebody just didn't get away with it, but they're not like... If it was a bigger plot, you know, like the people up in the upper-ups, they're getting away with all these deaths.
Here's a total flip side. Just to play devil's advocate, quote unquote. Right?
All right.
What if what you get reported in the news as
Diablo avocados?
No. This is off brand. What if every time you saw on the news reported serial killers and shit that the people they actually killed needed to be killed, right? You know what I'm saying?
Vigilante justice.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know
Vigilantes.
what I'm saying?
That's illegal. It's illegal. Vigilantes are illegal.
Right. But
we'd make them heroes.
But you know what I'm saying? Because maybe those people that were killed were, real deviants that had to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like these specific people got to get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Tons of SJWs would be outraged at the taking of human lives, even if it was some deviant.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the idea that every killing is based off of evil is something that could also be argued. You know what I'm saying? You could argue, like for example, if somebody was ready to kill your kids in the moment, are you going to kill him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll stop him from killing them.
Like, if he's got...
I will stop him from killing them.
If it's life or death, he's going to go.
If it's life or death.
Yeah, he's going to go.
Yeah.
For the sake of your kids, he's going to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that wouldn't make you evil.
If I had to kill him to make them safe, yes, I would.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that that's an evil act. You understand what I'm saying?
No, it doesn't.
So I'm just, you know, that's why I'm putting that out there. You know, like maybe these serial killers are not actually bad guys.
All right, let's talk about
maybe they're actually good guys.
Let's talk about righteous killings.
Maybe they're good guys.
What was a righteous killing? The guys who killed the Nazis, shit like that. Because then you get back into the idea that there are top guys in charge who are ordering wars to happen, and many people are dying. It's a meat grinder. They're throwing people into the meat grinder all the time. So they, I think, are some of the most diabolical killers in our world.
Yeah.
The top leaders, because I mean, they say Kim Jong Un like assassinates people and shit. He
think
gets away with it. We like him, right? Or
if you
I don't know if we like him, but
if you think about it like this, like the globe,
right,
the different countries and the quote unquote superpowers that exist within them and shit, it's all just gang warfare on a circle.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or excuse me, on a ball or an orb. It's gang warfare on an orb.
Well, that's the thing I think that's going on right now, like with this whole China conflict, where everybody's preparing for war and all that. You know, I think the deal is that we kind of think as Americans that like things can, like we're kind of conditioned that certain things can happen, and then we can just talk our way back into peace. But if you think about it like one of these handheld mobile games where you have guilds, right? And then a guild makes an alliance with another guild, but then that guild starts attacking the lower members of your guild. Alliance broken, a full attack. Right? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, if I do eat your guild, I'll be higher up, closer to top guild. And the people on the top victors get the top rewards.
Right.
So China's just like thinking like that. They're just thinking about this like it's computer, like it's a computer game. They're just, you know, like oh, top rewards. Oh, you're changing things now? Okay. Let's see if we can hack around that and fucking, you know what I mean? That's all it is. I don't even think that really it's like fury or like honor or anything like it is with like our leaders.
Yeah. Leverage, advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
resources.
Meanwhile, we have our leaders right now. The thing is that everybody here has a hand in China. Hollywood, the government, even defense. You know what I mean? Our windmills are made in China. That's like, I mean, our solar panels and shit like that, all made in China. It's crazy. So that means that what we're doing is people in power are saying, sure, China, we'll make an alliance with your guild. Now give us all now we're going to take every last reward that comes with that alliance. Right?
And leave you with nothing.
And now we're going to start fucking your guild a little bit.
Right.
We're just a little bit. Nope, crushed. Nope, crushed. And I feel like that's what I would do if somebody even did that a little bit. If I gave you rewards for joining with my guild as an ally, and then you start chipping away.
And you try to fuck me? Yeah.
Even if you start trying to chip away, swallowed. I'm not, not taking it. I'm going to gain up a little bit. Like Highlander, I'll take off your head and gain a little bit of energy, and you know what I mean?
I'm going to level up on your ass real quick.
Right. So our government is like being all fucking like Hollywood about fucking government. And that's the problem. Everybody needs to be way more meticulous.
I think that's a good way to phrase it, bro, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like they being too Hollywood with the shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you who's not being Hollywood with the shit. Shadow government.
Shadow government? Mm-hmm. You mean the white hats versus the black hats? QAnon type shit or what?
I mean like Black Ops.
CIA type. Yeah, that's not. See, when I think CIA, I think the government's underground guys. That, you know what I mean? That side.
Yeah, not Hollywood at all.
Where they can literally like start paying off people to make things seem like they're happening, and I see that happening all around the world. Like an indigenous people gets blamed for shooting high-tech rockets at another country, so we bomb them back. Like, it's all like fake. It's like, okay, we have all these rockets, let's make wars. We can afford to use, like, 1,000 of our rockets this year. You know what I mean? And by doing so, it will seem like there's a war.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like otherwise the cores are going to get old, and then we can't use them.
Right. Well, you ever seen the Iron Dome in Israel at work? So a missile comes over from, I guess, the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, we was watching it.
Yeah, I guess it's.
Yeah.
I guess the missile's coming over from, I don't know, who's shooting it. Because, I mean, who are the insurgents that they have high-tech guided missiles? You know what I mean? that will go to the heat seekers. So the Iron Dome shoots up these things that provide heat, so the heat seekers go... It's like, these are guided missiles.
Yeah.
They go after the thing, and then they'll shoot it down. So I'm like, come on, man. Like, really? All I see is one group of people setting up rockets over there so they can shoot them over here and block them. That's all I see. And I'm sorry if that's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
But until I see like some real evidence of a Palestinian military like group, like tanks, weapons, rockets, like full military.
Yeah.
All I keep seeing is like dudes with like a rocket pack on. He's got like a bazooka.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got a bazooka. And he's wearing an Adidas track uniform, no shirt, with a scarf around his head and flip-flops. He goes running around the corner like, boom, oh, and then he runs back like scared shitless because somebody gave him these fucking huge guns and said, shoot him over at that area.
Shoot him in that direction.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I guess, man, I don't have... Can I get some combat boots and, like, some gear? No. You don't need that. That's going to cost money.
Right.
We already have the missiles and bombs. So let's just... You know what I mean? Let's have fun with that. Like, that'll cost money. So you see this thing going on. You see people dying all around the world. And we focus in on, like, a serial killer because a serial killer is one of the more personal aspects of that. Yeah. Somebody who's willing to get in with his hands and witness the life change from an eye. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but based off of those two, which one is worse?
Which is worse is the mass killers. Yeah. The government at the moment, the war games. Yeah. That's worse. Yeah. They always said war is good for business. It's because it propagates the people to want to help or fight. Mm-hmm. And then you can tax. You can get funding.
And it's crazy, bro. You know, I mean, and that's how you were saying, like, you know, like illegal killing. That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you do that shit and then it gets celebrated. Like, yeah, I want to get some too. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to a serial killer does it and you're like, yeah, I want to do it too. No.
Well, some people do, and that's like other serial killers, young serial killers, or just misguided youth, and that's the danger of making serial killers' names famous. Yeah. You know what I mean? That is the epitome of I don't want to dignify him by saying his name, because don't say his name. Don't even make your kids wonder why he did it, because what is a child's mind going to come up with?
Right.
A child's going to be like, oh, there's guys who do that. A little kid who likes, like, AC/DC and shit might be like, wow, that's fucking heavy metal. Mm-hmm. That's metal. That's hardcore what he's doing. They might even... Because you see it on the Lifetime network. You know what I mean? A made-for-TV movie about the serial killer. And you're like, it's all, like, not violent, not showing the real details. Yeah. So it makes a kid like, maybe I'll go, like... He thinks he's just going to go over with a knife and go, ha, 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 and then the person falls down dead. But instead, like, he stabs the person and they go, and start running. And then you gotta fucking jump on him, and then he fights the shit out of you. And then you have to do all these random slashes because you just don't even know what you're doing at that point. Because he's fighting back. They didn't do that in the fucking movies. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus, what are we gonna do? Except fucking just go all the way with this, and then you make a psychopath. A person who has seen and tasted blood on his hands and tongue. You know what I mean? Like, it's like... So, last subject, okay? In war-torn countries, where like a large percentage of the population has in fact seen
People killed.
very, very violent acts,
Yeah.
do you think that's dangerous for our society? Like because
Like, you mean for the world at large, or you mean the United States?
United States society.
Oh, like bringing those people here and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Just the simple fact that like human life may not be as holy or valuable.
I mean, again, it could be a 50-50 toss up, but probably more like 80-20 for real. For people that come from shit like that, man, I would like to think most of them would just be, whatever they believe in, thanking their God that they're safe from that. You know what I'm saying? But, sometimes what is it? What sneaks through the cracks?
Water
I don't know.
seeps through the cracks.
Yeah. I guess that or whatever. I don't know, but sometimes motherfuckers slip through. You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, and think about their own image of themselves when they come here and see that those kind of guys are celebrated on TV.
Yeah.
They're like, man, I'm kind of cool. You know what I mean? And I might even, I think that's kind of what it was that started like, because there's lots of gangs.
Mm.
And especially in California, like,
Yeah.
there's lots of gangs, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Vatos Locos was around here. You remember that?
Have you been to Cali before?
No.
I haven't either.
No. But I do plan on making a trip there very soon. Just catch a flight for a couple hundred.
Right, going back to Cali.
But I'm going to Cali for the first time. And it's actually probably the worst time to go. Because back in the day, Cali was just bustling, like, place. And now it's like literally the boardwalk is completely covered in homeless people's tents.
Damn.
The beach line is just... You can go out on the beach, but you got to kind of cross through, like, homeless encampments to get there. I've seen vlogs. Go check out the German in Cali, I think it is. God damn it. What was the place that... Venice. German in Venice. That's it. Venice Beach. So, German in Venice. Go check him out on YouTube. He's pretty cool. And then tell him that I sent you because...
German in Venice?
Yeah. It's just this German guy, but he walks around, like, actually showing videos of the street. And the people. Like, let's go down this avenue. Let's go down this street. Let's go down this street.
Yeah, this is what they're not showing you on TV.
Exactly, and it is fucking bad. He catches tent fires all the time, and you never know if some of those tent fires had somebody in them. You know what I mean? Like, just homeless people's tents everywhere, and one of them's just on fucking fire. It's like somebody fell asleep with their cigarette or something, or meth. You know what I mean? Or something happened. Who knows? But anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap it up because we've talked a little bit about death, and we've talked a little bit
About killing.
about the nature of that. I do believe we talked a little bit. We talked a lot about death.
You also spoke about
And a little about life.
You also spoke about innocence too, for a brief moment.
Yeah, the hope of children.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
which is one of the things that I feel
basis.
deeply about. Whether you think I'm left or right or anything, please don't ask me about defending our the next generation of our children.
Right.
And I don't give a fuck what stage it's in. Okay? Please don't ask me about it because you're not going to like my answer if you're on a certain side. I just feel like a certain need to help anything, man. The smaller it is, the more I feel I need to help it. You know? So I guess that extends all the way down to, like, my sperm. You know what I mean? Busted off in like a silk, hand towel and just, like, lay it out to just, like, experience the life. Blow it a shotgun so it gets a little high before it just dries up and dies.
You know what irks me even more than you going through that whole spiel
What's that?
was as soon as you mentioned sperm, that was when I looked right over at you.
Oh God. Well, yeah, I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say that. My word is not good. Word's good not for me. Click.